to work on the Honda. We're back in the bike shed and we're trying to finish up this Honda today. So before we start though, I want to go over some of the parts I got in and what they cost, because a big goal of mine is to keep track of every cent I spent on this bike and try to sell it for a little bit more. I just want to make a little bit more money on what I spent on it. So let's take a look. All right, remember I paid $600 for this bike. I'm about $620 into it right now, discounting oil and the spark plugs. I returned that AutoZone battery because it was crap, and I did buy another one. We'll go over that. So we got a hand choke to replace the cable choke that it is broken off in the handlebars, so I figured this is probably the cheapest and easiest solution for that. Next is master cylinder rebuild kit. This was $21. This will hopefully fix our problem with no brakes in the front. Could not. We might just have to buy a whole new cylinder, master cylinder. Air filter was $11.81. Handlebars were $31 used. Good deal on that. Battery was only, I think, $26 on Amazon, and I had a $25 gift certificate for donating blood, so it really only cost me like $1.80. And then we got a used tank here. It's a little beat up, but inside it's perfect inside. This was $80. You could find a really good, perfect tank, but they were like $200 and up. All right, well, let's start putting these things together. All right, we'll start with the easy stuff: battery, choke, and the air filter. And then from there, we'll probably put the gas tank on. The hardest part's going to be the handlebars and the rebuild kit. So let's just start digging into it. All right, so we took the old choke cable out. It was the springs all rusted. I would just replace that, but this is what I was talking about earlier. The threading on this plastic control has stripped out. So my cheap workaround for that is this. There's a manual choke cable right here. So on, off. This was recommended to me by a member on one of the Facebook groups of Honda Rebel, so I really appreciate that. Remember, these handlebars are bent, so we're going to take these off, put the good ones on there. I think I'm going to have Chelsea do that part, and while she's working on that, I'm going to rebuild the master cylinder and see if we can get that worked out and working again. So piston was seized in the master cylinder. I got it out, but it did break into 3 pieces. So of course, the rebuild kit I bought did not come with a master cylinder. So yet again, another part had to be ordered. It's like half the kit this is, master cylinder and some seals in the spring. So we should be good to rebuild that now. Chelsea's got the handlebar situation taken care of. So this is a couple days later. I'm still fighting with the idea that the handlebars are still bent somehow. It ended up being a front wheel alignment issue, which is now sorted. Sorry I didn't take any video of that, but it's an easy process. But yeah, you can see how worn these rubber handlebar mounts were. So while I was trying to figure the bent handlebar situation out, I decided just to pull them out and replace them just to be sure it wasn't anything to do with these. Add that to the list. So I've been just kind of slowly going through here, polishing some of the chrome, getting some of this rust off. This stuff is amazing. If you've never used it, quick glow, highly recommend it. But I got to the forks and the light, and I noticed the light was loose, and I took it all apart. And of course, both the plastic brackets were broken, so I've JB welded them back together. And we'll put that back in there and see how much better that is. Clean all this up. What do you guys think about these crash bars? I kind of like them. They're bent, but I think it kind of adds a cool factor to it. I don't know. Let me know. This is bent too. This is all broken or loose. I'm not sure. And something else I noticed last week was the clutch pivot bearing here is super loose, or the bearings are just worn out. I actually ordered another one, so we'll put one of those in and see if that helps. So let's finally get this master cylinder on here and get the brakes figured out. I was going to pull the bike back out, but the brakes were locking up. So it looks like These pistons are stuck. Both pistons were seized a little bit, just worked them back and forth and put some PB blaster in there. They're working good now. So the tires and tubes absolutely needed to be replaced. They were dry rotted and just old. They were kind of pricey for as far as, you know, Rebel tires go, but they are a matching set, which is nice. And I do not mind spending money on items that will keep me on the road. Pretty sketchy. That ain't going nowhere. I will link the brand and model in the description if you guys are interested in a matching set of tires like this. After paying the tax man, there's only one thing left to do. Actually, there's one last thing. So roughly maybe an hour and 25 minutes. Not bad. So here's the reason, after all that work, decided to do this, because I did find a seller, or I did find a buyer. I did find a buyer. When I was showing him the bent bracket, I realized that this was way worse than I thought it was. The frame is actually kinked in right here. So the idea is to fix it. I have a frame on the way, a piece of a frame. I'm gonna cut this out and weld that back in, make that nice and straight. Not a safety hazard. And that's where Jordan comes in.
A little bit of that sauce. Everything together, like, yeah. You know, I'm scared if I cut it, the whole thing's just gonna banana.
Whatever you think.
About, like, cutting?
As Jordan begins to explain the complexities of welding and metal fabrication, I pretend to understand. The only thing I do know for certain is that I will get the bike back 100% perfect. I know I'm in good hands with Jordan. If you're in the area and need a fabricator, I'll throw his information down in the description. Jordan did such an amazing job welding this frame in. So good. Huge shout out to Jason. He's one of the moderators over at the Facebook page Honda Rebel CMX 250 Maintenance and Mods. And he provided me the piece of the frame that saved this Rebel from becoming a parts bike. Not only did he cut it up and send it to me for free, he also paid shipping, which is like, who does that? That's insane. Incredibly generous, and he's always helping any way he can over on the Facebook page. Thanks again, dude. Alright, frame is repaired, engine and everything back in. Will it start? Probably. Special delivery. What's up, man?
Wait, should I go back inside?
No, we don't have to do all that. Dude, it's running good.
Hell yeah.
Good to see you. Frame is awesome.
Oh, he
did so good.
Yeah, man, now I was thinking I'll have to do so much more to clean it up.
No. But this is Noah. He posted on a local subreddit saying he was looking for a motorcycle fitting the Rebel's description. We scheduled a meetup, went on a ride, and he decided he wanted it. This is my last day of owning the Rebel, but this is Noah's first day of owning a motorcycle. I think he made a great choice with the Rebel. I know sometimes the Rebels get a lot of flack for being boring or a beginner's bike that you'll soon outgrow, but I had a blast a couple weeks ahead cruising around town and into work on this thing. The huge community kind of just proves that simply they're fun, reliable bikes. I remember feeling kind of bummed when hearing in order to buy the BMW R90/6, I also needed to take the Honda Rebel. I thought I'd probably not even bother getting running or sell it cheaply, but I'm glad I ended up saving it. If you were to ask me if it was worth it, I wouldn't hesitate to say yes, and I think Noah would agree too. If you're a fan of classic Hondas, stick around. I found another one that needs some fixing. Thanks for watching. Is the mic plugged in and it's on?